we're going to go ahead and start by laying on our backs, and we'll just have the stick right next to us so that we can use it in a moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and come to one side. Roll onto your back. Just have your stick handy. You'd like to stick it underneath the bend of your knee is a nice place to keep it. Good, and then have your the back of your neck long, so when you lay down, if you feel like your back bending in your neck, you need a little bit of a pillow underneath it, right? So make sure you can look straight up toward the ceiling. And then let's place our hands down on the mat next to us, slide our shoulder blades down, pull up into belly, have your feet as close to your hips as you can, and lift up your hips. So bone density loss, we need to make sure that we keep the rib cage down, so it's just enough to slide your hand underneath you, just a little bottom lift. If you do not have bone density loss or neck issues or disc issues in your neck, then you could go ahead and lift up a little higher so that you're forming a straight line from your shoulders through your knees if possible. If you're tight like me in your quads, you may not get that far, but you'll feel a nice stretch here. So we're lifted, take a breath, pull up your pelvic floor and lower down one vertebra at a time. So lengthen your spine. Great. Take another breath, shoulders stay down. Soften your jaw, separate your teeth, lift your hips up to an appropriate height, either bottom lift, which is low, or a bridge, which is a little higher, but shoulder blades are still in contact with the mat. Pause there for a moment, take another breath, lift up your pelvic floor, and then roll down one vertebra at a time. Now see how much longer you can get your spine today. Shoulders down. We'll do this about 3 more times. So for a total of 5 bottom lifts or bridges. Lift up, turn your palms upward so that your shoulders are open. You roll your shoulders open, you get a nice wide collarbones. Just pause in the bridge for long enough to really feel your buttocks and your hamstrings working. Feel the stretch if you're tight in the quad. And then pull up your pelvic floor, let gravity assist that movement, and then roll down. Okay, 2 more times. Keep breathing, lift up, engaging buttocks, engaging abdominals, lift your pelvic floor, and pause for a moment. See if you can send energy out through your knees. So really reach your knees long. And then roll down. Good. And last one. Engage your buttocks, lift up to an appropriate height. Find your stretch. Make sure your knees are pointed straight out from your hip joints. So we want to have that muscle energy there. Keep breathing. Lift your pelvic floor. And then go ahead and bring yourself back down, rolling down, lengthening the spine. Beautiful job. Now, let's go ahead and place our hands behind the skull. So we're going to interlace our fingers here. And so if you're thinking about your hands being just a hammock for your head, the neck stays long. Take a breath, pull up your pelvic floor. Your hips stay down this time. And then feel that you're zipping up from your pubic bone to your navel to your sternum. And then as you press your ribs back into the mat, nod your chin and just come up into a tiny little head hover. So you're still able to feel the floor with your fingers. If you extend your fingers behind your head, lengthen the back of your neck. And then come back down. Okay, so let's try that again. So you notice the elbows are not needing to be wide and flat, right? Wing your elbows up off the mat slightly so that you can pull your shoulders down and then pull up your pelvic floor, hips stay down, zip up from your pubic bone to your navel to your sternum, press your ribs into the mat, nod your chin, and just come up, hovering your head just a small amount, an inch maybe, off the mat. See if you can hollow your belly a little bit more and then come back down. Okay, so let's do that 3 more times. Pull up your pelvic floor, zip up the front line, Nod your chin. Keep the back of the neck long. Press your ribs into the mat and come up to the head hover. Every time I come up to the head hover, my hands are behind my head. I just like to extend my finger and make sure that I'm still like really close to the mat. So we're not in flexion here. We're actually still pretty neutral in our spine. And then come back down. Okay, take a breath, pull up your pelvic floor, zip up the front line, nod your chin, keep the back of the neck long, press the back of your ribs into the mat, find the hover, and then come down. Good. And one more. Pull up your pelvic floor, zip up pubic bone to navel to sternum. Just press your ribs into the mat and then come up from your rib cage to the head hover. Back of the neck is long. And we come back down. Lovely. So we warmed up our abs, our scoops. So now reach your hands long. Find your stick. and we can take the stick and have it, if your arms are long enough, so different torsos, different arm lengths, right? But if your arms are long enough to actually pick the stick up, and you can pick it up and it's not hitting you in the booty, you can keep it below your legs, exhale one leg and then the other up into a close tabletop. If the stick is hitting you in the rear end and you can't move it up and down in the 100 pattern, you can bring it in front of you and do your 100 pattern high in the air like this for just right now. So we're going to do 100 in one of those two positions, and we'll do about 50 of the 100. And we're going to start right now. So beat your arms up and down and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Head is down. Knees are in close. 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep breathing. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And let that go. So we'll bring our legs back down again. Good. Let's take the stick out from under our legs and reach it up toward the ceiling. So reach up so much that your shoulder blades pull off the mat. So you round your shoulder blades a little bit. And then pull your shoulder blades down. And reach up. And pull your shoulder blades down. Okay. One more time. Up. Shoulder blades down. Good. Now, if you want to move back into tabletop, go ahead. If you don't, you can do this next one and just be moving your arms on top of your thighs. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose. Exhale. If you're moving to tabletop, bring your legs up. Squeeze your thighs together. Pull up your pelvic floor and find your zipper line again. Good. Now, take your arms down and extend your knees out a little way and just find your belly. Good. And so from there, tighten your arms, pull your shoulders down, and we'll do our 100 from here. So we'll do our second half. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you need more, if you can extend your legs, you're welcome to do that. Lower your legs to wherever they need to be. I'm just going to model the more gentle version. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay zipped up. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now bring your knees in. Put the stick on top of your shins and just hug your knees in with your stick for a moment. Rock your legs back and forth a little bit and just feel how it's almost like a little cat-cow against the mat. So we're just going to give our sacrum and our lumbar just a little bit of a massage here. Okay, perfect. And then let's go ahead and bring your feet back down to the mat. Good. And bring your arms back up with the stick and pull your shoulder blades down. Okay, so now let's exhale the right leg up to tabletop. Good. And inhale, extend it long. And you can make your foot like in a little Barbie foot, I like to call it, sort of like an arch with the extended toes. Okay, so you have a nice active foot. And then feel how that is. Feel if you can kind of set your femur bone down closer to the mat. So just drop your femur bone down into your hip socket. Now zip up, pull up your pelvic floor, your hips are down. Use the stick as a focal point. Bring your leg down, feel your belly tighten, and bring it back up again. So let's do 5 of those with the leg in parallel. Bring your leg down and bring it back up again. So inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. One more. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. Now same leg, externally rotate the leg. Keep your leg tight. Keep it straight. Same thing, 5 leg lowers. Inhale down, exhale up. So feel if you can have the sensation of picking your leg up with your belly. So less leg work, more belly work. And inhale down and exhale up. One more. Inhale down, reach long, exhale up. Good. Hold that knee, put it down. Let's just do 1 bottom lift or bridge just to organize your spine. Good. Keep the right leg bent, foot on the floor, left leg comes to tabletop, extend up. Make sure your foot is active, everything is active, the leg stays perfectly straight. And we'll do 5 leg lowers. So feel what happens in your belly when you lower the leg and bring it back up. Inhale down and exhale up and bring it up to a hamstring stretch, right? So keep your leg straight and long and the quad is tight. Inhale down, pull into your belly to come up. One more here. Inhale down, exhale up. Now externally rotate the leg. And 5 more. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. 3, and exhale, keeping your legs straight. And 4, and exhale. And last one, 5, and exhale. Fold the knee, put your foot back down, do a little bridge. Good. So let's set the stick down for a moment. Let's go ahead and place our hands behind the base of our skull. And stretch your neck long. Pull your shoulders down. Good. Pull into belly. So again, lift up your pelvic floor. Find your zipper line. Pubic bone to navel to sternum. Good. And then find your ribs pressing into the mat. Okay. So then we'll go ahead and come up into our head hover, nod your chin, and see how it is to rotate onto your right shoulder blade. Keep your left hip bone pressing onto the mat. And then come back to center, rotate onto the left shoulder blade, and keep the right hip bone pressing onto the mat. So use your inner thighs, right? If the pressing of the hip bone, right, is one sensation, if we get our inner thighs on the job here, then they're going to help us keep our low body steady. So find your diagonal in the back and the front. So as we rotate onto the right shoulder blade, you can feel a diagonal from your right rib cage to your left low ab, and you're pressing into the floor with your left hip bone. And the same, the opposite is happening as you rotate to your left shoulder blade. You've got left shoulder blade to right hip bone and the diagonal from your left rib cage to your right low ab. Okay, so one more time on each side. Find the diagonal. Really press your shoulder blade and your hip into the mat, and then pull your rib cage and your hip bone together in front, and then again. Okay, so now this is a nice rotation to do. And if you have bone density loss or disc issues, and you're not supposed to be going into flexion, this is what you can do, and then start marching the knee that you're rotating your heart toward. Okay, so we can build on this. We'll go ahead and continue marching, okay, and building on this, because what you can do once you've got your marching down is bring your legs up to tabletop and then extend the leg you're rotating away from, okay? So it's just different serving suggestions. It's all rotation. It's all finding our obliques and our oblique slings, okay? And then what you can do too is if you are okay with the upper body lift, go ahead and do an upper body lift. And then you're rotating toward the bent knee again, and we're in our full expression of crisscross. So just keep moving, keep breathing, keep smiling, okay, finding the mat and finding the energy of our legs and our abdominals, wide open chest. Continue to breathe. And we'll do a couple more on each side. Good, and come back to center, come on down to the mat. Great, and interlace your fingers and then take your arms wide. Keep your knees together and let's take your knees over to one side. So as you drop your knees over to the side, see if you can keep the opposite shoulder blade that you rotated away from pressing into the mat. That gives you a nice stretch. Just keep your abdominals active, but not overly, we don't need to brace for this. This is stretching. Take a breath. Exhale, pull into belly. Let's come back to center. Inhale off to the other side. Just keep breathing. Exhale to center. We'll lift and lower our hips to organize our spine. That was lovely. So let's move the stick out of the way of our leg, okay? And extend your left leg long. So pull into belly. So again, we've got pelvic floor, pubic bone, navel, sternum. So you've got your zipper line. Now flex your left foot as if you were standing on the floor. And just go ahead and press your arms into the mat. Bring your right leg up to tabletop. Extend your right leg, okay? So 5 circles in each direction. Keep breathing. Lower the leg like you did before. Think about your belly really stabilizing you, and then bring your leg out to the side and up, okay? So if you've had a hip replacement, make this be a capital letter D, where you're not crossing midline. If you've not had a hip replacement, you can rotate your whole pelvis and make it more of a circle, okay? So just be aware of what you are supposed to do in your hip if you are working with a new hip, okay? And we'll just do, this is 3 and 4 and 5. Good, and let's go the other direction. So keep breathing, keep your pelvic floor pulled up and choosing your range of motion that's appropriate for your body. Keep checking in with your abdominals with that zipper line and your neck. Just make sure the neck's not trying to do the leg circle for us. Our necks can be very helpful in our Pilates practices. And 4 and 5. Good. Then once you've completed that one, go ahead and hug your right knee in. And now hold on to the knee with your palm of your right hand and take your leg around in a passive circle. So that means that your arm is moving the leg. So you're stirring the head of the femur in the socket. So we just brought a lot of lubrication, some synovial fluid into the hip joint through the work of the leg circles. So now if we move our thigh bone around, we're literally stirring the synovial fluid around and distributing it around into the labrum of the hip socket, which is pretty cool, which doesn't really count if you've got a hip replacement, but it'll feel good anyway. So it's all fabulous. So let's go ahead now, bring your right foot down to the mat, bend the left leg, and extend your right leg out long and dorsiflex the foot like you're standing on the floor. Okay, so we'll take our left leg up, arms are down beside us, shoulders are down, extend your left leg up toward the ceiling, and then bring it down. So reach long, find your belly here, out to the side and up. And again, if you've got a hip replacement on this side and you are not supposed to cross midline, you're making a reverse image, capital letter D. And if that's not your case, you can cross over and your whole pelvis rolls with you, okay? And 4 and 5. And just keep pressing into the mat with your right leg. And now we change directions. Remember your pelvic floor. Remember to release your jaw. And smile a little bit. And 3, keep breathing. And 4. And 5. Beautiful job. And then take your left knee in. Take your left knee in your left hand. And now stir the femur bone in the hip socket. And just keep breathing. It's like synovial fluid. It's like WD-40 for our joints. And then hug your knee in. Lovely. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring both knees in. Hug your knees in for just a moment. We'll take the knees around in mirror image circles for just a moment in each direction. So about 3 in each direction here. Good. Make sure we go the second direction. Good. And then hug your knees in. So now let's take our left leg in both hands. Your right hand's going to be up by the knee. The left hand's going to be down by the outer ankle, and make your elbows kind of wide and lovely, okay? The right leg extends long. If you do not have bone density loss or disc issues, you could nod your chin and come on up and look at your legs. If you have that going on, you're keeping your head down. So we push-pull the leg and then switch the leg and switch your hand grip. Always outside hand on the outside ankle. And we can keep moving from side to side. Give yourself a nice little push-pull. If you chose head up, you didn't like it, just put your head back down and continue the exercise. Okay, so we have our single leg stretch, which is lovely. Good, and one more on each side. And then hug our knees in. Good. Now, let's take a moment here, take a breath, get your stick. Right, so our stick is up over our shins. So really pull into belly and pull up your pelvic floor and use your inner thighs as well. And then we'll extend both legs as we bring both arms overhead, and that's all relative. So for less work, you extend your legs more straight up and come back in and have the stick come over your shins. For more work, your legs will go lower down, okay? So choosing a height in the room that's appropriate for where we are today, not where we think we should be, but where we really are, right? And we'll do our double leg stretch here. Perfect. One more. Nicely done. Okay, so just take a moment here, take a couple of breaths. Okay, and let's do a single leg extension variation of that one. Okay, so arms up, bring your legs into a closed tabletop. One leg extends, bring it back. The other leg extends, bring it back. Good. So just get a little bit more work in this. Try doing this in external rotation. One leg extends, bring it back to a diamond leg. The other leg extends, bring it back to a diamond leg. Good. Just a couple more. You go back to parallel if the diamond leg is not to your liking. And last one. Good. And then hug your knees in. Good. So that was lovely. Let's go ahead and bring our feet down. And we'll keep the stick as a focal point again. Bring your arms up toward the ceiling. Pull the shoulders down. Lengthen the back of your neck. And bring your heels as close to your bum as you can. So from here, take a breath. Exhale. Pull into your belly and engage your gluteals to lift up your hips to an appropriate height. So giving you a bottom lift or bridge. Okay, so we pick one. And we'll go ahead and now shift our weight from side to side. See if we can do that without the stick shifting. So if the stick is shifting, that means we're likely making it too big of a movement. So we can make it a little bit smaller. And now start feeling as you shift from side to side, you kind of exaggerate the letting go of the buttock that you're shifting away from. So it almost feels like how your rear end works when you're walking, okay? I'm a big fan of walking. So whatever we can do to strengthen that movement pattern, I'm happy, happy, happy to do it. So now next time you shift over to the right, go ahead and bring your left leg up. Press your foot toward the ceiling of your left leg. And now keep your left leg pointed up straight. Lower your hips down to tap the floor and then pick them up again with your right buttock. I know, this is fun. Let's do 2 more. Lower down and pick up your hip. And lower down and pick up your hip. Okay, now keep lifted. Lower your leg to where your thighs are parallel and pick it back up. 2 more. Lower your leg till your thighs are parallel and pick it up. And 1 more. Lower your leg and pick it up. Good. Now fold your left leg, put it down, recommit to your bridge. I know. So now we have to get the left one going, right? So shift to your left side, pull into belly, pull up your pelvic floor, right leg to tabletop. Extend your leg long. Flex your foot toward the ceiling. Now lower your hips so you tap the ground and then lift up your hips. 2 more. Lower down and up and lower down and up. Now stay up. Lower your leg. Thighs are parallel and lift. Lower your leg. Thighs are parallel and lift. And lower your leg and lift. And then fold your knee, set your hips back down. Don't go somewhere. Recommit to your bridge. Okay, so now take a breath. Bring your stick down and press it on your thighs and open your chest. And then as you bring the stick back up, lower your hips. Good. And then lift your hips. Bring the stick down, press it on your thighs. Feel how you can get your chest open here. And then lower your hips, lift the stick. Let's do 3 more. Press and lower and press. So this is a variation of Joe's breathing, right, from the trap table repertoire. And press and lower. Good. And then let's go ahead and set the stick down underneath our legs. And we'll take our right leg in both hands behind the thigh. Pull your knee in toward your chest. And then stretch your leg up toward the ceiling, keeping your elbows kind of wide. Okay, we'll just get a nice hamstring stretch here. I know. If your hamstrings feel really tight, you can do this active stretch where you pull your knee into your chest and then press your foot up against your hands a few times. So sometimes it works better for those of us that are tight to do a more active variation of the stretch where you're using your quad muscle, your thigh muscle, to ask the hamstring to lengthen. So 1 more if you're doing the active. Good. We could stay here for a moment and just do a static stretch and rotate your ankle, rotate your feet. Good. And then we'll go ahead and change legs. Let's take our left leg, both hands behind the thigh, flex your foot, press it toward the ceiling. And again, if you have the tighter hamstrings, I'm certainly in that category. You could be doing your active release. There we go. Just keep breathing, checking with your jaw. And then hold the stretch, static stretch. Do some ankle rotations. Good. Then from here, let's go ahead and let go of the left leg. Take the right leg again. Hold as far up your leg as you can, keeping your legs straight and rounding your elbows outward so you have a beautiful position for your collarbones. And then choose head up or head down. So without bone density loss or disc issues, you're welcome to come up and have your head up. And then you're looking at your belly. Everybody pulls the belly in, pulls up the pelvic floor, extends the left leg. And then we do just a little pulse, pulse, and then switch the leg and pulse, pulse, okay? So the pulsing of the leg you're holding is accomplished by pulling it. with your arms, and the pulsing of the other leg is reaching out through actually your leg muscles that go all the way up into your torso, okay? So we're just breathing. It's single long leg stretch. Enjoying our moment here that we get to be a little bit more active, finding the belly work, finding the stretch. Good, and then we'll go ahead and fold our knees in. Heads come down if they're lifted. Take your knees around in mirror image circles, just 2 or 3 times in each direction. Hug your knees in. Okay, so now, if your abdominals are becoming stronger and you're not ready yet though to have your low back unsupported with 2 legs doing something, put your hands underneath you. Okay, and we're going to extend our legs up toward the ceiling, zip up our center line. Inhale to lower the legs. Exhale, pull into belly to bring them back up again. Now, alternatively, if you are okay with having your hips without support, you could put your hands underneath your head, okay? And if you do not have bone density loss or disc issues, you could actually lift up your head into an upper body lift. So we have our double long leg stretch, okay, with a variety of options. And inhale down and exhale up. And let's just do 2 more. Inhale down and exhale up. 1 more. Inhale down and exhale up. Now, lower your legs down to a place that you can hold on to. Bend one knee in and rotate toward that knee. Good. And then rotate and rotate. So wherever you're holding your head is fine. We have another set of crisscross. Okay. So the expression of crisscross is going to be at a height that's appropriate for your bone structure. We'll just do 1 more on each side. And that was fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and just roll all the way over onto hands and knees. We'll just have our stick handy at the front of the mat. Take our knees apart and our toes together and just press back into a flat back, wide-legged child's pose. Take 3 breaths here. Good, and then we'll come up. And we'll come to our hands and knees in our quadruped position. Great. Let's find a comfortable position for your hands. So if you don't like having flat hands, you could use fists here, okay? Or you could be on your forearms. Those are all fine options. Okay, so shoulders are down. Let's pull up into our belly and pull our shoulder blades down our back, right? Tuck your toes under. You've got your toe pads on the mat. Pull up your pelvic floor and see if you can lift your knees 1 inch and just hold. Okay, so this is hard, right? So this is a quadruped plank. So basically what we've done is we've taken your legs out of the equation, so it's much more into the abs, and of course you may feel your quad muscles, your front thigh muscles as well. And we'll go ahead and lower down. All right, shall we try that again? Pull your shoulders down, take a breath, and keep your toe pads tucked under. Pull up your pelvic floor and lift your knees 1 inch. Ah, very nice. Keep breathing, keep smiling. And we'll come on down. That was fun. Let's go ahead and come down to our forearms if you're not there already. And walk your knees back, pulling up into your belly until you are thighs down on the mat with your pubic bone in contact with the mat. If this does not feel good to your low back to be in this position, you can continue moving forward to lay down flat and stack your palms, your hands underneath your forehead for an alternative position. Okay, for up with our little fists and our forearms on the floor, pull up into your belly. So you're pulling your belly off the mat and then kick towards your rear end with one leg twice. So it's kick, kick. Now lengthen your leg as you set it back down again. And then kick, kick with the other leg. Lengthen your leg as you set it back down again. For a little fun foot choreography, you can do a flex point as you kick. Flex point as you kick. So keep your shoulders down. Keep smiling. So we have our single leg kicks. And we are stretching the front of the quad. And we're using our core muscles to keep our torso steady here. So keep pulling your chest forward through your arms while you're doing this one. So you can feel the postural work that's involved. Good. And let's go ahead and finish that up. And everybody put your hands down on the mat. Stack your hands underneath your forehead and just put your forehead down. And then take your, wiggle your legs from side to side. So if you rotate your heels from side to side, you'll feel that kind of wiggles your hips, and it gives you a little bit of a back release. So that's lovely. Now, we'll take our hands from underneath our forehead, keep your head elevated so that you're in neutral spine in your neck. So that means you're really looking down toward the mat now. The back of the neck is long. Place your arms long beside you. Palms are down, thumbs are out. So that means external rotation, not some kind of other internal rotation, right? So we'll go ahead and lift our arms next to us, pull our belly up, roll your shoulders back and down, and see what your true back extension is. So while you're here, press your pubic bone into the mat, tighten up your buttock muscles, pull up your belly off the mat, and just keep your collarbones lifted. It's almost like you're doing a, well, I wouldn't want to say skydiving because you'd have to pay me a lot of money to do that. But it's almost like you're in a position where you might think of flying through the air, like Superman, only with your arms behind you instead of in front of you. Keep breathing. And then we'll go ahead and come on down to the mat. Put one cheek on the mat. So if you're doing that with a lot of intensity, you'll feel this exercise in the back of your arms and your tricep muscles, okay? And that's a good place. We want to make sure we're pulling our belly up enough that we're not feeling too much ickiness going on in the low back, okay? So we're going to get to do that again in about 3 seconds. Take a breath. Bring your head to neutral. Roll your shoulders back and down. Rotate your palms open so the collarbones are open. Pull up into belly, press your pubic bone down, activate your glutes. Keep your feet down. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders so everything is standing in a beautiful posture as if you were in your best posture, standing upright. And then we're going to challenge this position by doing a little bit of hundreds with our arms. So we'll go inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your pelvic floor pulled up. Keep your belly pulled up. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Now instead of going up and down with your arms, go side to side with your arms. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your back of your neck long. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull your belly up. 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Arms down. Put your other cheek on the mat for a moment. Take a breath. And then wiggle your hips back and forth by rotating your heels. Take another breath. And then we'll press back to a child's pose. with the knees wide and the feet together. And you can actually just have your forearms down on the mat so to avoid deflection in the upper back. I'll take a couple of breaths here. That was good work, everybody. Very good. A little direct back strengthening. We like that, it's important. One more breath here. Good. And then let's come back up to quadruped, lower down to one hip, and we are going to lay on our side. Let's take our stick in front of us, rest your head on your arm, your bottom arm, pull up your side waist, and then let's go ahead and line ourselves up, crown of the head to tailbone with the back of your mat, and bring your legs forward. So you're just bent at the hip a little bit, okay? So we'll pull into our belly, pull up our pelvic floor, take your stick and bring it up over your shoulder with your palm facing forward, okay? So the position of the stick is parallel with your body, okay? And we'll just pick up our top leg, press your bottom leg into the mat. Your bottom foot is dorsiflex, like you're standing on the floor. Your top foot can be pointed or Barbie foot or whatever. And let's do 5 little circles in each direction. 3, 4, 5. And change direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. And just feel how, and set your leg down, set the stick down. Turn the stick so that it is perpendicular to your body. So it's sideways to your body, okay? Good. Take another breath. Bring the stick up, keeping the orientation perpendicular. Now press down into the mat with your bottom leg. Lift the top leg, lower your stick, press them together. So draw the shoulder blade down. Good. And then lower your leg and raise your arm, okay? So let's do 10 of these and press. So find the opportunity here as you press your palm, your fist with the stick into your leg to feel the side waist muscles working. So you just hold on to that position for just a nanosecond. And keep breathing and really lower your shoulder down as you press as well. You can try doing this in external rotation, right? So we can try different leg positions in our Pilates practice and see how they recruit muscles differently. Make sure you're not rolling back in your hips though, if you do try a different orientation. And you can also try Sand's hip replacement, a little internal rotation, and see what that recruits differently. Just be careful, be mindful, you know, if you're working with a new hip, of any of the contraindications. And last one, let's go ahead and set the stick down. Good. Bend your top leg. Good. And just give it a little massage in the side of the glute here. And just do a little bit of, you know, side of the hip, top of the thigh. Okay. Thank you very much, leg. Okay. So now let's go ahead and bend the bottom leg. Okay. Bring your top leg up to hip height. Just leave your stick on the ground. Place your finger pads on the ground. Pull your shoulder down. Bring your leg straight forward. And then bend your knee. Keep the knee bent as you take your leg back till you feel a stretch. And then extend your leg long. So we'll go into our bicycles here. Straight leg forward. Find your hamstring stretch. Bend the knee. Take the bent leg back. Find the quad stretch. Lengthen your leg. Good. And forward. Bend. Back. Extend. Last one this direction. Forward. Bend. Back. Extend. So now from the back position, bend your knee. Increase the quad stretch. Bring the bent leg forward. Find the hamstring stretch as you extend your leg. Take your leg back. Stretch back. Increase the stretch by bending your knee. Bring the bent leg forward. Extend. and press back, lengthen and bend. Find your belly here. Bring it forward, extend. One more time, press back, bend, bring your leg forward, extend. Beautiful job. Rest your leg on your other leg, both legs bent. Good. And so just to finish up our series on this side, we'll go into simple clams. Keep your heels together, rotate your knee up. Place your hand on your hip or behind your back. Forearm behind the back is another good place. But just check and make sure that you're really just going into the external rotation that you own in your actual hip joint as opposed to rolling back. Okay, so we're working on our gluteal external rotators right now. And hopefully you're starting to feel them. It's a beautiful thing. We can smile about the strength that we're building. Be grateful for our strong bodies. And two more. And last one. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and change sides. So we'll just flip over to the other side. Lay down, support your head on your forearm, line yourself up, crown of the head to tailbone with the back of your mat, and then bring your legs forward off the front of your mat, just so you're a little bit bent at the hip, and pull your waist up. And then we'll take our stick, and it's going to be parallel with our body, with our palm facing forward, hold it up in the air. Dorsiflex your bottom leg, press it into the mat. Bring your top leg up, make the foot active. 5 little circles in each direction. So you can feel the subtle movement of the muscles in your shoulder as you're just holding the stick up there. So it's a very subtle way to just work on the rotator cuff, actually. And then go the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nice job. Lower the leg, lower your arm. And then make the stick perpendicular to your body, so it's crossways. Good. Bring your arm up. And then press down into the mat with your leg. Lift your top leg, lower your hand. Press your fist into your thigh, lower the shoulder blade, and lower your leg, raise the arm. So see if you can find every single time as we raise our leg and lower the arm and do that little isometric, you feel your side waist muscles working. And keep breathing. Think about just, how's my posture, right? If you can keep your crown of your head to your tailbone in one long line, pulling up your side waist, finding your isometric. So we have our little lateral waist muscles working here. Keep breathing. Soften your jaw. 7 and 8. Press, shoulder blade down. 9. Good. And 10. Lovely. Let's set the stick down. Good. And then we can bend the bottom leg. Good. Raise up the top leg. Spider fingers in front of you with the shoulder blade down. Bring your leg forward. Find your hamstring stretch. Bend the knee. Take the bent leg back. Find your quad stretch and lengthen your leg. See how long you can grow your leg in this exercise. Bring your leg forward. Hamstring stretch. Bend. Take your bent leg back. Find the quad stretch, extend along. Keep your bottom leg pressing into the mat. And 3 or 4 on this side for our bicycles, and bend. And bring your leg back and extend. Last one this direction, hamstring stretch, bent knee, quad stretch, long leg. Now, bring your leg back, your foot back towards your booty. Increase the stretch. Bring the bent leg forward. Find the hamstring stretch as you extend your leg. So we reverse directions. Long leg back, bend the knee, keeping the knee in line with the hip here. That's how you get the better stretch. Bring your knee forward, extend your leg. Bring your leg back. Keep your thigh in line with your body, bend the knee. Bring the knee forward, extend your leg. Good, one more. Leg comes back, bend your knee. Knee comes forward, extend the leg, and then go ahead and rest your legs. Give yourself a little hip massage here, okay, if you need it. And then we'll go ahead and hand on the hip or forearm behind your back to make sure that you're not rolling back in your pelvis, and simple clams. So we have our knee lifting and the feet are staying together, working on our gluteal, external rotators. There's 6 of them. And we have 9 glutes total. It just amuses me to think of that. I always thought it was just 1 glute on each side, but no, there's 9 of them. Imagine that. Whew. It's amazing. We just have to call muscles different names so we know what we're talking about. You know, everything actually all works together. I'll just do many of these, at least 10, until we feel that we've got that little bit of a burn going on in our buttock. And then we'll let that go. Nice work. So let's go ahead and swing our legs around and sit up. It is time for some standing work. Very important to do that. So we'll take our stick as our focal point and we'll move to the front of our mats. So we've got our stick held in our hands with our palms down, and we'll stand at the front of our mat. Look behind you, make sure there's no, tripping hazards or whatnot. Now, have your stick down low and roll your shoulders back and down and zip up the pelvic floor up through your zipper line with your chest open. And then balance on your left leg, step back with the right leg, land on your toes, lift the stick to chest height, okay? Good, and then we'll take a breath here. We'll come forward, bring the stick back down to your thighs and press on your thighs a little bit to open the chest. So we'll use a little isometric here today. And then go ahead and change your balancing leg to the right leg, step back with the left leg, lift the stick, keep your body steady, land on your toes. Come forward, press the stick against your thighs to open your chest. So from side view, right leg steps back, the stick raises up, we land on our toe pads, we balance, and then we step forward and we press the stick on our thighs to get another chest expansion. And then left leg steps back, the stick lifts up, we step forward, we press. Good. So let's just do a few more like that and just have some mindful pacing here. You know, because actually it's kind of the journey that we're working on as well as this end point with the additional postural muscle work when we press the stick on our thighs so you can grow taller there and really stay zipped up and scooped in your front line. And for additional challenge, you could be taking a longer step back or even dropping down into a lunge and then stepping forward. Be precise on the step forward with how well you're able to meet your traveling leg to your standing leg, okay? So we really come back and we're just standing in this lovely posture, okay? So let's just do a couple more on each side so we can really feel this work in our bodies. And keep breathing. Last one on each side. Nicely done, everybody. Okay, so now we can set the stick aside. Okay, take your legs apart. Okay, so you're gonna hinge from your hip and put your hands on your thighs. And then do a little pelvic tilt in one direction and then the other. So we're doing a little standing cat-cow. Okay. Make sure you're not overarching your neck. So this is more about moving your pelvis and your hips, okay, than it is about moving your neck. One more. Good. And then we'll hinge back up again, stand up straight. Okay, let's do our balance drill for the day. Roll your shoulders back. If you feel like you need to stand next to a wall for safety, please do so, or a countertop. Shift your weight over. So if I'm not holding on to something, I want to hold on to my hips so I can feel if they're dipping or not. Okay, shift your weight over to your left leg. Raise your right leg up. Okay, good. And just pause there and balance for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Put your leg down. Shake it out. So as you do a single leg balance, you can feel your ankle moving laterally, right? Sideways. That's the work. Those muscles are getting stronger. So shift over to your right leg. Lift up your left leg, and we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Put that foot down. Shake it out. Great. So now let's go ahead and do a little bit of multi-directional back stepping, just as another way to work on our balance and our bone density. And then we'll go to mermaid. Okay, so for now, step back onto your toes with one leg. Step forward. Step back onto your toes with the other leg. Step forward. Now take a 45-degree back and forward. 45-degree back and forward. Now go sideways. Do a weight transfer and come back to your leg. Go sideways. Weight transfer, come back to your leg. 45-degree forward, your toes are pointed forward. Come back to your leg. 45-degree forward with the other leg, come back. Straight forward, weight transfer. Straight forward, weight transfer. One more time around. Step back with one leg, step forward. Back with the other leg, step forward. 45-degree back. 45-degree back. Sideways. Sideways. Good. 45 forward. 45 forward. Straight forward. Straight forward. Nice job. Let's go ahead and sit down on our mats. We'll swing our legs around. Lift the corners of our mouths. Pull our shoulders down. Bring our arms up. And come on over. Take a breath in a side stretch. And then come on up. Find your balance. Hold on to your shin. Reach your other arm up for the counter stretch. Take a breath. Come back to balance. Float down to your arm. Side stretch. Then we'll inhale, open our hearts toward the ceiling. Exhale, deep belly scoop to rotate your rib cage. This is not comfortable for you for any reason. You can go onto your back, take the bottom leg, and move it into a figure 4 stretch. Okay? So we'll just keep moving and breathing. Appreciate your body. Thank you for being strong for me today. See if you can soften the skin around your eyes. Separate your teeth. Soften your shoulders down your back. Keep breathing. Have some gratitude for all of our gifts. The biggest gift we have is our lives. That's our biggest gift. Without that, nothing else would be possible. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this life. We'll take one more breath here. Inhale and wind. Exhale, come on up. You can balance if you like. And then we'll flip around to the other side. Good. Reach up. Standing shoulder blades down. Come on over to your forearm and just find your sideways stretching. Take a breath into the side body. And then we'll press the floor away. And come up to balance for a moment. Hold on to your shin. Reach up. Counter stretch. Take a breath. Come back to balance. Gracefully float down to your forearm. Take your side stretch. And of course, you know, if the full mermaid is not for you for any reason, you can go ahead and just go on your back right now. Put the bottom leg on top of your other thigh. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, scoop your belly, rotate your rib cage. Find your mermaid on the other side. Just take a few breaths. Keep smiling. Soften anything that doesn't need to be working. And take one more breath. We'll inhale to unwind. Exhale, come up. You can balance if you like. Arms down, swing your legs around. And then let's pull our shoulders down and our abs in till I see you again. Keep smiling. And thank you for coming today.